Yo, what's going on guys? HyperX here, and today I want to talk about a brand new open world action RPG called Honor of Kings World. Not to be mistaken for Honor of Kings the MOBA, although it is related because it's part of the same universe. It is based on the MOBA, developed by the same studio, but this is their take on an open world action RPG. And from the trailer, just visually speaking, it looks really interesting. Now, do keep in mind the trailer is, of course, largely speaking CG, and even down to the gameplay stuff, it's probably more so comped together in a way to try and show what they want to try and do than actually show us gameplay. So at this stage, it is impossible to even fathom quite what the game will be like, quite whether it will be any good, quite whether it will be a microtransaction hellhole. Honestly, we don't know, and I know that for a lot of people, the second I say this is Tencent Games, they're going to be like, I'm stepping away. However, in this video, I want to talk about it regardless because the trailer, just simply going on the trailer alone, it looks kind of cool, if it's to be believed. So I just want to talk about what we saw today. I want to talk about my thoughts on it and kind of just share what we have so far. So if you guys do enjoy this, you do enjoy the video, you want this to be real, you want to believe, then drop a like on this video, let me know in the comments down below. And if you guys have been enjoying the content lately, definitely don't forget to subscribe. It does really help me out, kind of gives me a good gauge as to the kind of things that you guys have been enjoying lately, so I can sort of bring you more of that on the channel. But anyway, that being said, this trailer dropped this weekend and it's called Honor of Kings World. Now, for those of you guys that don't know the series, Honor of Kings is a competitive battle game or a MOBA on both iOS and Android, and it was released way back in November 2015 in China. And according to the Timmy Studio Group, who are of course the team that produced this, again published by Tencent, it was the first game to average 100 million daily active users in the world and is one of the world's highest grossing games of all time. So it's fair to say it's pretty massive. Of course, mobile gaming is huge in China, so that's kind of to be expected. I have absolutely zero experience with Honor of Kings. I have not touched it. I hadn't heard about it before I saw this trailer, so I can't really talk about the MOBA in any capacity. That being said, they then dropped this trailer, which again is called Honor of Kings World, which, surprise, surprise, is their open world game. If I had to hazard a guess, this is probably them trying to sort of step into the Genshin Impact market, that kind of thing. It's not the only open world game, but given the huge success of things like Genshin Impact and whatnot, then it's fair to say that's probably their sort of design ethos or design idea behind making this switch. Again, this will be part of the Honor of Kings world. Quite how it will connect, I don't really know. Again, I don't know anything about the characters, the world, or anything like that. But the fact that it's part of the same universe, I would imagine there'll be characters, heroes, that sort of thing that you will see across both of those. And the game itself is planned for a worldwide release on multiple platforms. No actual details just yet, but typically when they say multiple platforms, it'd be fair to say probably PC, PlayStation, Xbox, that kind of thing. However, right now, there is no release date. So effectively, the trailer is all we have to go on. And when you look at it, visually, it's a very nice looking game. Again, a lot of this is CG, but right off the bat, you've got a lot of nice, vibrant colors, the sort of a color palette you would expect, again, from sort of a Genshin Impact, Breath of the Wild, that kind of feel. But what I really liked about this, and again, I feel like this is a proof of concept trailer as opposed to actual genuine gameplay, but the sort of seamless transition from cutscene into what is effectively supposed to be gameplay, I really like it. You know, this monster comes in, you have this kind of cool cutscene, the guy draws the sword, and then the camera just pans back. You see the life bar come in. That is a very, very smooth transition. So if the game could actually play like that, that would be fantastic. As for combat itself, typical sort of action setup, think things like Monster Hunter, Dark Souls, that kind of thing. You know, from the way you look at combat, you have your regular swipes. There appears to be like a heavier swipe where you can see the character can basically charge his sword, charge his attacks for like a heavier hit. We of course see in the bottom right hand corner you have some abilities. These seem to change depending on the stance he's in, so when he enters into the sort of charging state, the icons will switch, so whether they're linked specifically to your actual abilities or whether it's linked more so to just like, you know, holding down a button, switching your available options, will of course remain to be seen. There appear to be, in a sort of Monster Hunter fashion, breakable parts as well, because at certain points during this, when he's charging the big powerful attack, the horns and the arms seem to take a hit, which causes him to topple, of course putting him into a vulnerable state. Of course, different to something like Monster Hunter, the enemy does have a health bar, so you can of course see that and track that. So that much is of course a difference. You'll also notice in this situation that there is a team of two. Obviously all the gameplay is done from the perspective of the sword wielder, but we do see of course a teammate here with a bow, so we at least know sort of team size of two. If this is an open world RPG, I'd be willing to think that maybe this might well jump up into your sort of conventional 3-4 man squads. That would be really cool. Again, we haven't sort of seen any other perspectives, but given that it is an open world RPG, I would be willing to bet it probably is sort of other human players as opposed to just like an AI control player. At least that's what I would like to see, because honestly, being able to explore a world like this with your friends is ultimately what you want to do. Then, of course, during the boss fight, the sort of enemy they were fighting at the beginning, which honestly was going down pretty fast. They were kind of working through his health bar. I was like, this guy doesn't even look that strong. Then this ginormous beast just comes out the sky, squashes him, and is like, hello, I'm the real boss. We don't even see a health bar for him, so clearly he is pretty strong. And then the cool thing is, after that, the camera basically pans back and sort of cuts through the world, and this is where you almost sort of see what you would expect from a regular open world. We see some general enemy mobs, sort of some combat taking place, which I would assume is from maybe other players. We see just like a look at some of the other creatures. We see birds, these giant sort of stone golems. It then zooms into the sky. I think they borrowed Kyogre from Pokemon, but he seems to be flying through the sky. And then we go into the title sequence as it flies over this ginormous looking city. So that's effectively all we have right now. Again, I do believe this is definitely one of those sort of concept videos where they're trying to sort of show what they're trying to do. But at the end of the day, I still like the idea. Like, it's one of those things where early on, when you see a trailer like this, it is impossible to get excited, to really kind of just know anything, because it really is just like an announcement trailer of like, look at what we want to do. That being said, there have been some really interesting projects coming out of Chinese studios lately. You think about like Black Myth Wukong, some of the other ones we've seen recently. It's actually been fantastic to sort of see some of those studios getting bigger budgets. So honestly, if they can bring titles like this to the West and kind of give us something just new to try out, I'm all for it. Whether it ends up actually coming to fruition will of course remain to be seen. Whether it ends up completely different when it comes to actual like actionable playable gameplay, again, will remain to be seen. But it's something that I'm going to be watching now they've announced it. So as and when we do find out more information, as and when we see more, hear more, I'll be sure to let you guys know. But do let me know again what you guys think in the comments down below. Is this one of those ones where you're like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna just see where it goes? Or are you just like, nope, this is not happening, I don't believe it? Let me know what you guys think. And otherwise, keep it locked for plenty more. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to catch more from us, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our latest uploads. And if you want somewhere to hang out, play games, or chat all things from games to anime, food to fitness, consider joining the HyperX Gaming Discord.